The rain fell like a shroud, a heavy curtain across the dying light. No wind, just the relentless shush of tires on wet asphalt and the hollow echo of a decision already made. He was a ghost even before he became one, a shadow of fur and bone deposited on the edge of the world. Shadow Creek Road, a place where the pines grow too close and the silence feels like a physical weight. This is where his life, as he knew it, dissolved. The slam of a car door, the crunch of gravel as it sped away, leaving a plume of exhaust that smelled of finality. He waited. Minutes bled into hours. The cold seeped into his paws, into his very soul. He didn't cry out. Abandonment doesn't always sound like a wail. Sometimes it's just a profound, terrifying quiet. He paced a frantic circle, nose to the ground, trying to recapture the scent of belonging. But the rain washed it all away. The man who found him wasn't looking for redemption. Elias was a man of concrete and solitude, a veteran architect who preferred blueprints to people. His cabin was his fortress, high up in the lonely stretch of the Cascades. He was chopping wood, a methodical, rhythmic action against the encroaching darkness. Thwack, thwack, thwack. Then, the rhythm broke. A flicker in the periphery. He stopped, axe held mid-swing. The forest was too quiet, the kind of quiet that precedes a storm or a discovery. He saw the eyes first. Two desperate amber coals glowing in the deep emerald gloom beneath a hemlock. A dog, a magnificent creature with the coloring of a wolf and the bearing of a broken king. Too still, too gaunt. Elias lowered the axe slowly. Every instinct he possessed, honed by years of surviving chaos, screamed, "Do not get involved." But the dog didn't move, didn't bark, didn't even tremble. It simply watched. A profound, ancient gaze that seemed to hold all the sorrow of the mountain. A low growl, more of a tremor in the chest than a threat, finally broke the standoff. Elias took a cautious step closer. The dog flinched, not in aggression, but in a raw, absolute terror of the human hand. Elias didn't offer food. He didn't offer a leash. He simply sat 30 feet away on a cold, moss-covered log and waited. He let the dog watch him, study the lines etched by time and pain on his face. The first breakthrough took 3 days. 3 days of silent companionship, the dog staying just beyond the reach of the porch light. On the 4th morning, a sound. Not a bark, but a dry, rattling cough. Elias found him collapsed near the woodpile, shivering violently. He moved, not with the hesitance of a man approaching a wild animal, but with the focused speed of a medic on the battlefield. He didn't touch the dog's head. He scooped the heavy, inert body into his arms, feeling the sickening lightness of a creature starved past hunger. The dog didn't resist. He simply surrendered, finally trusting in the one thing that had failed him before: human mercy. Recovery was a war waged in inches. The fever broke, but the fear remained a dull, constant ache. Elias named him Kodiak for his size and the wildness he could never fully tame. Kodiak wouldn't eat unless Elias was out of the room. He would panic at the sound of keys jingling, and he would never, ever cross the threshold into the main living space. The porch became his sanctuary, a limbo between the terrifying outside and the too warm inside. Elias understood. Abandonment is more than just a place. It's a cage built in the mind. He spent his evenings on the porch swing, sipping coffee, reviewing blueprints, and not asking anything of the dog curled up in the corner. He knew a thing or two about scars that don't show on the skin. Slowly, painfully, a thread began to weave between them. Kodiak would follow Elias on his lumbering morning walks, always keeping 50 yards between them. A silent sentry, a shadow with purpose. One afternoon, Elias was splitting a tough, knotted piece of cedar. The axe glanced, tearing a gash across his forearm. It wasn't deep, but the blood was immediate and dark against the white wood. A low, guttural sound tore from Kodiak's chest. Not a friendly yip, but a primal, protective snarl. He closed the distance in a single, terrifying leap, planting himself between Elias and the offending axe. Elias froze, his heart hammering against his ribs. He looked down, not at the wound, but into the dog's blazing eyes. The fear was gone, replaced by a fierce, undeniable loyalty. The Broken King had finally chosen his allegiance. That night, for the first time, Kodiak placed his massive head on Elias's lap. It was a weight of pure trust, heavy and overwhelming. Elias felt the coarse fur, the steady beat of the dog's heart, and a dam broke inside him. A lifetime of guarded solitude crumbled in that single, quiet moment. He didn't need to save the dog. They needed to save each other. Kodiak's healing was complete when he finally, completely crossed the threshold. It wasn't a sudden dash. It was a deliberate, dignified walk into the center of the living room, where he stretched out on the braided rug, sighed a deep, contented breath, and fell into a dreamless sleep. The story of the abandoned dog on Shadow Creek Road is not one of tragedy. It is a story of a long walk back from the darkness. It is a testament to the resilient heart that, even when betrayed by the world, holds a singular capacity for love. Look closely at the scars on Kodiak's ears and the weathered lines on Elias's hands. They are not marks of brokenness. They are the map of a journey taken together, a journey from silent abandonment to an unbreakable, profound companionship. The rain still falls on Shadow Creek, but now it only cleanses the path, and the silence is no longer terrifying. It is filled with the comfortable sound of two heartbeats, finally, fully at rest. The bond is real. The loyalty is absolute. And in the quiet majesty of the mountains, two lost souls have finally, powerfully found their way home. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this journey with us. If this story moved you, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more. We'll see you in the next one.